Portal 2 is probably in my top 10 games of all time. I absolutely adore the gameplay, the puzzle aspect of it, the story, and just sort of the witty banter, and the slow reveal of the story. I'm not going to get into spoilers or anything, even though the game's been out 11 years as of yesterday. Yeah, I happen to have missed the 11-year anniversary by one day. Good old me. It came out on 4/19/2011. So 11 years later, this game still has a vibrant community, which is continuing to create seemingly endless content for the community creation section for single player as well as co-op. So I wanted to talk about Portal today to sort of reminisce on the good things about this game and why I hope we get a Portal 3 soon. And also, it was in the news from the writer of Portal 2, Eric Wolpaw, that he wants them to make a Portal 3 before it's too late. But first, today's video is brought to you by SuperCDK.com, where you could save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro licenses for just $22, and then you can unlock the prestigious Dark Mode for Windows 10, which I honestly could not live without. It is blinding without the dark mode. You guys need it in your life. And now you can also save an additional 25% off at checkout by clicking Buy Now on any software products over there. Just go ahead and add it into your cart and put in my code JP25 at checkout and apply, and that'll bring our price from $22.44 all the way down to $16.83, a savings of over $5. And I'll walk you through how to get your key and install it on Windows 10. Go ahead and click Submit Order and complete your checkout from there. For me, that's going to be with PayPal, and then click on Pay Now. After completing the checkout, it'll bring you to your purchased order page, and it will update in a matter of seconds, or just go ahead and hit F5. Go ahead and do that one time. It came through literally immediately. I got the payment email that it had gone through and the delivery of the product exactly at the same time. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click on View Keys and Codes, and we'll get our code right here that we can go ahead and copy and paste in on Windows 10 by hitting the Start button and type in the word Activate. When you see that activation settings or see if Windows is activated, go ahead and click on that, and it'll bring up this right here, and click on Change Your Product Key or Unlock Windows 10. As I already have Windows 10, I obviously don't need to put in a new key, but just paste it in and then go ahead and click Next, and you are all done and set. For more information on SuperCDK.com as well as the coupon code, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So Eric Wolpaw, who was the writer of the original Portal as well as Portal 2, he also wrote on Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2. He didn't write the original Half-Life or Half-Life 2, but he did work on the 2 subsequent episodes, as well as co-writer on Half-Life Alyx. He's also wrote for Psychonauts. So pretty stellar list of credits to Eric Wolpaw. And he wants Valve to sort of get off the shitter and make Portal 3, and I couldn't agree more. I would love a new Portal game to come out. He was on a podcast yesterday called Kiwi Talks, and he said that we've got to start Portal 3. That's my message to whoever, because he has been in the game industry for 40 years now, and he basically wants them to make Portal 3 before he gets too old to be able to write Portal 3. He's not that old right now, but he has had some health issues in the past, so, maybe he feels like now is the time or not at all. And considering he said this, you would have to assume that unless they're moving forward without Eric Wolpaw, they're not even working on a Portal 3 right now, which is kind of a shame. I really love the Portal franchise. The orange box, that kind of came out, and Portal, the original Portal, kind of seemed almost like an afterthought. It just sort of happened almost like by accident. I don't know. Maybe it was Valve knew what they had from the beginning. I don't know, but I got the orange box for, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2, and then it had Team Fortress bundled in there and the original Portal game, and I didn't even touch Portal for a while, and then I started seeing people talking about it, and then I played it, and I was like, that was incredible. So when they announced that Portal 2 was going to be coming out, I was immediately excited that it was going to get a fully fleshed out campaign. In addition to that, it would also have co-op. The original Portal was fairly short. You could beat it in like 3 or 4 hours, honestly. So Portal 2 coming out with the full campaign and, probably a good 8 to 10 hours or so you could put into that, and then a co-op campaign on top of that, both of which were awesome. I played the co-op with a friend of mine who I always play co-op games with, and we had a blast playing the co-op on that, and the single player was fantastic. I love that they brought in Stephen Merchant to play the little robot guy in the game, Wheatley. Stephen Merchant is like one of my favorite actors and like comic writers of all time, working with people like Ricky Gervais, who I also adore all of his work. So I was very familiar with Stephen Merchant going into Portal 2, and his voice acting in the game was fantastic. It was so good. Really, really enjoyed pretty much everything about Portal 2. And that's before you even get into the community creation side of it, which after I had finished the game in the co-op, I didn't really touch it for a while. And then I went back to it with my buddy for co-op for the community creations. And we're talking about 2013, 2014 at this point. And we just found endless content in the community creation stuff, some levels that were better than even what Valve had put into the game, and some levels that we honestly could not complete. Some of them are just downright just difficult as hell and super creative, and it's still endless to this day. There's like almost 1 million community creations. It's absolutely bonkers. Almost 1 million. I had to double check there. And for single player, there's currently 706,000 community creations, 141,000 cooperative, and then there's also some other things for custom visuals and custom story, for the game. But still, almost 1 million community creations in single player and cooperative levels, ranging from, obviously, some of them are complete dog water, but some of them are incredibly creative and interesting, and some are easy, some are kind of medium, some are extremely difficult, and you're in there and you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing? But that's sort of the brilliance of Portal in a nutshell. It's like sometimes you get into these rooms and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to do this? And then you figure it out, and like one thing sort of clicks and goes on to the next, and then you feel like an absolute genius. That's the great thing about Portal. It makes you feel smart when you figure shit out, because at first it might seem like it's almost impossible. Like, did somebody make this level just to fuck with me? But you see the reviews for the level, and it's through the roof, so you have to figure there has to be a solution in here somewhere, and then you figure it out, and you feel great about your own ability to do so at the end of it. And then when you add in the cooperative experience on top of that, it makes it all the better when you have a buddy there to enjoy it with you. And when you're both stumped, you're just like, we're definitely, like, at some point you're just like, okay, we're overthinking this. We are definitely overthinking this. Let's go back to the drawing board and see what we got to do to get out of this level. So that's sort of the brilliance of Portal. And going back to where we started at the beginning with a Portal 3, which the joke is still running, by the way, Valve. We all know that you don't know how to count to 3. Where's Left 4 Dead 3? Where's Half-Life 3? I know we got Half-Life Alyx, but that's VR only, which is, honestly, I don't really care about VR. I mean, I'll get a headset eventually at some point, probably, but I'm not going to go out and spend nearly $1,000 on a good VR setup just to play one game, because there's not that much other content out there. So I would love a new Half-Life. I would love a new Left 4 Dead. But honestly, out of all the franchises, I know I might be one of the few people that feels this way, but I would rather have a new Portal game than a new Half-Life game, hands down. I've played Half-Life, great games, finished them, but then I never really touch them again. I don't go back to them. And with Portal, I keep coming back to it, and I just went back to it today after years of not touching it because I saw this story about Eric Wolpaw wanting to get on writing with Portal 3, and I hopped back in and played some of the single player, checked out some community creations, and was just dumbfounded with how much content has been added since the last time I touched it. And back then, it was tons of it, so now I'm going to jump back into it again on the single player creations and hopefully entice my buddy to reinstall the game so we could do some of those co-op creations. It's currently only like $10 on Steam. You probably might even be able to find a code cheaper somewhere online. But if you've never played Portal 2, I mean, I don't know what you've been doing for the last 11 years, but you need to get on it, my friend. For $10, you are going to get literally thousands of hours of content when you add in the community creations aspect of it, which you may have never touched. Maybe you just played the main story and the co-op. But the community creations are fantastic. If you have any recommendations for community creations that you think I should play or try out that I may have not touched yet, let me know down in the comments below, as I'm planning on digging through some of them and seeing if I can find some hidden gems. But let me know down in the comments below some of your favorites, what you think about Portal. Would you like a new Portal game? I look forward to interacting with you guys down there, and I'll catch you next time. Ta-ra.